Bitcoin just broke out of its ascending wedge that it's found itself in. What could this mean for Bitcoin? We're going to take a look at the chart to see what's going on this evening. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is CryptoTakeOver, coming back with another video again for y'all this evening on the channel every single day. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that we all can be updated. And let's see what Bitcoin has in store for us today. So I hope everyone's doing well out there. I hope everyone's staying healthy, preparing themselves for whatever may happen through this pandemic that we have found ourselves in, right? So we're just going to refresh the charts here on the CV19 and see what's going on here, see how many cases we're at. About 1.5 million cases confirmed right now. So I think the US was ranking pretty high in death toll as well too. It is so far #1 confirmed cases as well. We'll just keep an eye on that just to see what's happening there. It doesn't seem like it's slowed down at all. I heard that they are considering maybe it has flattened the curve just a tad bit, but still no indication of that reversing at all. So we just need to stay healthy out there, make sure that we're doing our own due diligence to better our bodies and ourselves, right? So we've recently found ourselves in this triangle here. We had some resistance at the top of the 7,500 area, and then also we were just kind of moving sideways ever since we moved up to that 7.5K area. So this was probably just a flat correction here. And after that adjustment there, it looked like we did break to the downside. So a few different things that I noticed here that I could have considered was looking at our higher time frames. We had a lot of resistance at 7.5K with our weekly EMAs as well as some other key EMAs on our higher time frames. And those higher time frames really just hold a lot of precedent over the smaller time frames as well. So it was pretty clear that we were not going to have enough volume to probably push us through some of those top key EMAs, right? And then we also had a bearish pattern forming as our ascending triangle or ascending wedge, whatever you had drawn it as, was also forming, indicating that 60% of the time that usually likes to break down to the bottom side. So it looks like we had quite a few touches on this bottom side here too. And as we know that if we touch that trend line, the more and more we test that trend line, the weaker it gets, right? So we had that wick through, and then we finally had the breakdown, right? So as you can see here, we are currently trending at about 6,800 right now. It does look like we are trying to retrace just a tad bit, maybe a sideways flat correction as well happening here. Me and the group, we flipped short probably at about that 6,800, or no, I think I went short. I called it last night, and I said, hey, this doesn't look good. Exited out of our long position that we were in and went short at about, I think, 7,100. So it really is just kind of one of those things that it could have gone either way. And, I think shout out to CF. I think he was doing all that he could too as well. But, to each his own, and we have to consider what had been the best play for us as far as our proper risk management, right? So I told the group last night I was flipping short, and I flipped short about 7,100 and rode this bad boy down all the way down here. So hopefully everyone in the group's doing okay. And if y'all are interested in joining our trading group, y'all can check out the first link in the description box below. Right now, I'm running a special for the $4 a month price, and that'll be your locked-in price. So usually it's a little bit higher than that, and by the end of April, I'll raise the price back up. So if y'all want to go ahead and get in this locked-in price, I have an awesome trading group that I've established. I'll share my ins and outs of the markets. You get daily summaries from me about the direction of the markets and where they could be headed to. Then also you get all my private videos that I have in the Patreon page as well. So go ahead and feel free to get signed up for that. Like I said, you're getting a 35% off special right now for April. And then by the end of April, prices will go back up. And then if y'all do just want to support the channel and keep up to date with me, if anything was happening with the platform or we move to a different platform or something like that, y'all can just sign up for the newsletter. I'll do giveaways every once in a while as well. And then sometimes I like to also share some of those private videos that I give my Patreon members only. After a few weeks or so, I'll send out a newsletter to my subscribers on the newsletter. So get signed up for that. Second link down in the description box below. Let's take a look at our 15-minute time frame here. We can see that we really moved into the red money flow at that drop there. We had, some choppiness, and the really just market was trying to decide whether or not it was going to go from one direction to the other. So just really, really sideways choppiness, and that's just basically because our higher time frames are not lining up just yet properly, right? So once everything lines up in one direction, then that's when we see the big trigger and the boom happen, and we broke to the downside, right? So can still see that our money flow is still trending down here. We are putting in a couple of big green dots indicating a potential bottom for us as well. So we really just have to keep an eye on that. And looks like we're kind of getting stopped out by this key EMA here. So we can check out our 45-minute as well. 45-minute also signified a yellow X there for us, and we had a few blood diamonds and yellow X's before we had our big drop, and that's when I was like, hey guys, this doesn't look good. I had my stops in place, and from when my stops got hit, I was like, hey, I'm going short. It looks like we're probably going to go back down into the 6K areas. If y'all want to take this with me, y'all are more than welcome to. So we made that up real quick. We had our stops got hit. We set our parameters for our proper risk management. Our stops got hit, and then we took it to the other direction. So it's really just no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no weeping and remorsing, right? It's hey, I recognize that my stop got hit. Let's take it to the other direction, and that's all there is to it. You can't just be weeping and moaning because your stop got hit or something like that, right? So shout out to Sin Crypto. He's been schooling me on just how to not be emotional in these markets either, right? I think that was a lot of my previous mistakes was even not trading before I started to get into trading. One of the things that I would be at work and be like, dang, when am I going to be able to, be financially stable or free enough to, be able to, just live off the crypto. And that was one of the things. I would always look at price and see price fluctuation. I was like, what can I do about this, And I'm like, dang, if prices are going down, I'm going to be stuck in my 9-to-5 forever, And then I started to research a little bit more about trading, So even if you're not a trader, you can still get emotional in these markets. But that's why we have the trading tool, and that's why we have to learn to harness it a little bit better, is so that way we can compound our interest in there and also make the extra funds on the sides so to support ourselves, right? So that's really what I want to try and bring to the group as well, is to not be emotional traders, but to learn how to hold on to your positions, if anything, and just be ready for whatever be mentally ready for whatever may come your way, right? And that was one of the things, I always have people message me before they join the group and stuff, thinking if it's right for them. And I always tell them, make sure that you at least know a little bit about trading. I really don't like to get brand new people into the group, but I understand that we do have a lot of beginner traders in there too. So I try to work with them as best as possible, telling them that, hey, we don't do anything. We don't do any crazy leverage over here. We're not trying to become millionaires overnight. We're just trying to steadily compound our BTC, right? And that's really what it is just, try and keep everything to at least on the side of, having a better percentage of wins, right? So we can see here on our 45-minute, we're still moving our way into that red money flow. It does look like we are putting in maybe a trigger wave to send us back up to the upside here. So we'll have to see if that green dot confirms for us or not. It looks like it does want to confirm, but we'll just have to wait and see. One of our key EMAs, our 13 EMAs, sitting at about 6,900. And then as we move into our 1 hour, we clearly broke out of this structure. And when we broke out of the structure, we didn't even have a retest of it. So I would say that this was probably our retest back here, because even this trend line was probably drawn like right here. And then we probably had that retest right here. And then that's when we started to crumble down, right? So I left this here thinking, okay, well, I'll give it one more chance, see what's going to happen. But it doesn't look like it couldn't hold support there. It broke through that resistance or that support line after touching it several times. So and then we just had a nice little waterfall action there as well. So even on our 1 hour here, currently getting a buy signal. I don't know if that's going to last. It does look like our VWAP here wants to move down to the downside, maybe putting in a red dot for us, and that could give us maybe a yellow X, or I think that would probably give us a yellow X, if anything, to indicate that we still have a little bit downwards potential for us to happen here. And then as we move into our 2 hour, we haven't even moved into that red money flow just yet. We are getting a green dot here, though, indicating that could be a potential bottom for us, or a temporary bottom, right? So because our money flow is still moving into the red, we're probably going to get pushed down even a little bit more, and maybe even BTC might sink just a tad bit. We are getting a little bit of a death cross here with our 13 and our 100 EMA crossing each other. So this sideways action was just like, man, what's going to happen? We had our blood diamonds here indicating something was getting ready to occur. So I was like, could this be a fake out? Wasn't too sure. And then when we broke structure, I was like, hey guys, this is a major trend line structure that we've just broken. I'm cutting losses. Stops got hit. I was like, I'm taking this to the downside, because this looks like it could be a nice little move to the downside here. So hopefully, if you were up with me, you caught that. So I had been keeping my eyes on the charts all day. As y'all know, in the previous video, I said this is a decision point for Bitcoin, whether or not we're going to move to the upside or downside, right? And we had the break to the downside. So now we can just accumulate BTC at a cheaper price, right? And basically put in some nice decent shorts here to move to the downside too. So nice waterfall structure here, blood diamond that has appeared as well. 4 hour also hasn't quite moved into that red money flow just yet, but we are seeing that we may put in a big green dot pretty soon, indicating some sideways movement that could occur between maybe our two EMAs. It does look like we've already broke structure on this EMA here. I'll go into our regular candles to see exactly where we broke structure. Yes, and it looks like we are finding resistance at our 100 EMA as well too. So we'll have to maybe consider that. Maybe consider that there could be a death cross too as well, or that we move sideways from here on. Going into our 6 hour. 6 hour here. Nice reversal with our EMA here, just moving further down to the downside here. You can see that there. And then also, this is our 6 hour. Yep. We can see that we're still on the trajectory to the downside as well. I would expect the money flow to maybe move a little bit more into the reddish area as we start to maybe sell off just a tad bit more. So maybe mid 6Ks. There's really no telling right now. I would say that the structure that we broke was a strong structure, right? Let's just say it was keeping us afloat for a while. So I would say that this structure had been keeping us afloat for quite a while. For it to break, I think that indicates that something, we just need to be ready. And that's just really what it is. So key structure is broken, as a lot of even the tubers had been talking about this structure as well. So we just need to consider it. It is what it is. If you are trading this, just use proper risk management, and I think you should be okay. As we move into our 8 hour, we're getting our sell signal here as well. This money flow hasn't moved quite into the red just yet, but we are starting to see that sell off on the blue wave just a tad bit here. So maybe indicating that you might even have our death cross happen as well here with in between 7K and 6.9K. I'm trying to see, this is our 8 hour, when the last time we had a death cross happen. You can see we had death cross here, came back up to retest, and then more trajectory to the downside, right? So I was looking at higher time frames as well to correlate with this. I'm not going to go into those higher time frames too much from now on. I just want to keep these videos short, and I also don't want to give too much away for my private group members as well either, about overall trajectory. One solid advice that was given to me was that, and you have to, in order to learn what your short-term trades are going to be, you have to know what the overall structure is going to be, right? What is your overall structure of the market and the way that you want to trade it to maybe signify what your proper risk reward management would be for your shorter trades, right? So I definitely like to go over that a little bit more with the trading group that I have, and they're on the same page with me there as well. But then also we just get really busy, and I don't want y'all sitting here watching a 30-minute video on TA either. And then as we can go into our 12-hour, we'll take a look at that there. But if y'all do want to just join the Discord group and chat with us, y'all are welcome to. I have a bunch of different channels that y'all can chat and stuff in there as well. So feel free to join us in there. There is a private section that you can only get access to if you join the Patreon page. If y'all do join the Patreon page, this is kind of key because a lot of people forget to give me their Discord name. And message me on the Patreon page. Tell me what your Discord name is, and make sure that you join the Discord server, so that way I can give you access right away to the private channel in there as well. And then also I have the Telegram channel that if y'all are interested in joining, feel free to check the link in the description box and join us in the Telegram channel. I like to just post a bunch of different things in there, news articles, memes. I like to do polls in there as well. Actually, my poll members on the Telegram channel had this one right. I said, are we going to break below bearish or bullish out of this channel that we're in? And I think that they ended up saying that it was going to be bullish. So let's see. I forgot what they... I think that, or they said bearish, sorry. I mean, 56% said bearish and 44% said bullish. So I was leaning more towards the bullish side, but that was just based on, I think, like a lot of other people's and the groups that I was in, they were relatively bullish too. If I was just probably looking at this by myself, I probably would have been like, man, that's too risky. I would have need to see us past 7,500, and I had told my trading group this too. I was like, if y'all want to hold off till 7,500 to go long, then by all means wait, because there was a lot of overhead resistance at 7,500, and I would have felt much better about going into a long at about 7,500. And then I said, if we broke 7,100, then I'm going to consider us pretty bearish from here. So we never broke 7,500, and that was a good indication that once we started to head back to this downside, that it could get a little bearish from here. So shout out to the the Telegram channel for getting that one right. Y'all are awesome. So feel free to join the Telegram channel if y'all haven't, and that would be freaking cool. And then if y'all do want to just upgrade y'all's trading view plan, I use the premium plan. If you're using Market Cipher, I would at least tell y'all to use the Pro Plus plan. So y'all can check that out. Links in the description box. Pro Plus plan just allows you to have a few more indicators on the screen, like the Wills buy sell signal and the Aldo EMAs, which are both custom signals. So I tell y'all how to get those in the Patreon private page as well, if y'all are interested in that. Moving on into our 21-hour, no sell signal just yet. A nice little sell-off here, moving back below our 100 EMA. I did want to take a look at our 12-hour. So does look like we kind of want to move back into that reddish money flow, but no telling exactly what's going to happen here just yet. We just know that we got strong rejection to send us back to the downside. Here on our 100 EMA, also getting a nice little rejection there. As we move, our blue wave comes back down just a tad bit. So we can maybe anticipate possibly a sell signal there as well, but yet to be determined. One day, also moving back down, piercing through our 13 EMA, and not even making it up to that 7,700 on our 100 EMA. So currently putting in a red dot here as well. Money flow maybe now finally just deciding to move back into that reddish territory for us now too, after our big bullish run up to 10K at that 10.5K area. So we could see that maybe Bitcoin still has a little bit of progress to make in order to consider to be very, very bullish right now. This was held as very nice resistance for us as well, this trend line here. So yeah, I am working on a 3 commas bot right now. My Patreon members will get that video. The 3 commas is a pretty cool platform just because it allows me to get in a trade really quick, in a limit trade actually really quick, using their platform. So I can just press a button, it puts me in the limit trade right away. I don't have to sit there and try and catch the price action, right? So pretty nifty feature to have when it comes to 3 commas and using that for your accounts. You can also hook up at least, I think you can hook up unlimited accounts to your 3 commas platform as well. So right now I'm working on a few different accounts, one for a friend, and you know, we've split the cost on the pro access, so that's pretty neat. If y'all are interested and y'all want to start programming a bot, maybe you can get some friends to split it with you, split the price with you, and tell them you'll compound their BTC for them, right? But I'll be giving that video away on the Patreon page as well in the near term future and show y'all how I set my bot up at least, right? And then if y'all just want to buy and hodl, totally recommend to at least dollar cost average into the market. We're at great buying prices right now when it comes to this market compared to, you know, when we ran up to 20K and maybe could possibly make our way back there, you know, within the next couple of years or so for sure. So if y'all just want a dollar cost average and keep your money off of the exchange, not your keys, not your coins, I would recommend getting a hardware cold storage wallet at least to be able to store your crypto onto the wallet. Links in the description box. And then we do use Bybit for my trading group. If y'all haven't used Bybit before and y'all do want to start trading with us, I would recommend at least getting started with the testnet. So there was a few people that joined the other day. They're brand new to trading. I said, hey, they're not even trading just yet. They're just kind of wanted to survey the group a little bit, just kind of spectate. And I said, hey, well, at least trade with us and use the testnet on Bybit. So that's what I encourage. Get signed up in the links in the description box. Come over here, ask chat support how to access the testnet, and they'll get you set up to start trading at least fake BTC, learn a little bit more about the platform, learn how to deleverage yourself, you know, learn what marketed limit orders are, all those fun things, and learn how to ladder orders as well. Y'all can use Prime XBT to leverage trade certain commodities, fiat currencies, all using Bitcoin. So check out links in the description below for that. Then also I use the Brave browser to browse the web. So Brave browser allows me to accumulate BAT token in the background as I click on ads. So I clicked on an ad down here. I'll get paid out in BAT token by the end of the month or going on into next month. I think they pay it out like the first week of the month if I'm not mistaken. But super lightweight browser. It eliminates all those Google ads for you. And it pretty much just only gives you the Brave browser ads if you even want to opt into that. Otherwise, you can browse the web through a ad-free browsing experience. So it's made by the same people that made Mozilla Firefox. Would highly recommend it. Link in the description box below if y'all want to check that out. Also, CryptoTab browser allows you to mine Bitcoin straight from the browser itself. I don't really use it to browse the web too much, but I do run the mining software process in the background. So I have it running on 2 other laptops that I don't really use anymore. They're just older laptops that I just had laying around. So I use this browser to mine Bitcoin on those other laptops. Also, there's apps that you can download in the Apple Store. You can download it on your phone or your tablet and then have the mining process work for you in the background. So it's super easy to withdraw from these as well. It takes, you know, maybe like a day to get to your wallet. And yeah, it's an easy way to help support the Bitcoin network and then also hassle-free of setting up ASIC miners and ANT miners. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Y'all can message me on either one of those platforms. I'll most likely reach out, or if you reach out to me, it's easier to chat with me on Discord. So come chat with me on there. I look forward to seeing y'all in the Patreon VIP. Like I said, there's an April special going on right now. I will have to move those prices back up by the end of April. So go ahead and get that discounted price in and get your locked in price right now. So as we move into our 2-day, you can see that we were kind of moving into that greenish money flow on our 2-day. Currently maybe seeing some rejection here. It's still pretty sideways for the most part. We are putting in a little bit more of a greenish money flow. So that's just something we need to be considerate of, to say that, hey, we could be possibly moving to the upside here. I know a lot of people are still looking at this 2-day, but we're putting in somewhat of a doji as well. I think even on our daily, we were putting in somewhat of a doji back here, and then we had this nice little sell-off. So if this ends up being somewhat of a doji, I would say, hey, we need to be really considerate of this. Probably we might have another little bit of a reversal here, and if probably we put in a red dot, I could see us going a little bit further back down too as well. So we'll just have to keep an eye there on our 2-day for the most part, and we'll look at our 3-day, I guess. So we started to see these death crosses happen, and this is really just what these higher time frames are really trying to tell us, is that there's still a lot of resistance up above head over us too. So that 7600 area, I mean, we wicked up almost to right there, just exactly, and then right now we're still seeing resistance at that 7K area right now too as well, fighting with that. So we'll really just have to see what's going to happen here. Our 3-day also looking like it wants to move into that green money flow, but our lower time frames are just telling us that we need to be ready for possibly an even bigger sell-off. These higher time frames, as they move into that green money flow, I think that they just take a lot longer of a process, especially since money flow is kind of that last hierarchy indicator that moves probably the slowest out of any of them, right? We just have to consider that and know that it might take a little bit longer for us to get a little bit more bullish in Bitcoin. So, and there could be a little bit more of a retracement, but I'm going to be looking at these charts a little bit more for the rest of the evening. If y'all do want to join us in the VIP group and trade with us, then I would highly encourage it. But also, if y'all have any questions about it, just message me, and we can go from there as well. So I hope that y'all have a good one. I hope that y'all are staying safe out there. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, so that way y'all can be updated every single day that I make a Bitcoin video. And with that being said, y'all, I'll talk to y'all on the next one. CTO signing out.